Jessica Gracie is a lecturer in law at the University of York. She says the impact of the new ruling may ripple out into different sectors of the entire gig economy.
I think this sets a huge precedent because I think, it's had so much coverage up and down the country and elsewhere in the world. And I do think that workers, particularly in the food delivery sector, but also beyond that to potentially supply teachers, to online tutors maybe, thinking to themselves, hang on a minute, does this judgment apply to me? So I can definitely see future litigation happening there and potentially, the likes of class action. So, but I think what this judgment has shown is that, it's broken down the myth that flexible work is incompatible with, some of the security associated with employment protection. So I definitely see kind of some changes being made to labour relations, particularly in the gig economy.
So do you think we might be seeing the beginning of the end for the gig economy in the UK? It's responsible for 5 million jobs in the UK. Might some of those now be at risk?
Potentially, because there is some oversaturation in the market. I mean, that's often how these business models work. But I do think given the prevalence of it, particularly because of the COVID-19 pandemic, I do think that these platforms are just going to have to update themselves and bring themselves into the 21st century, meet those standards that are expected of them with employment regulations. So I just think that they need to adapt their models. I don't think that, this is necessarily the beginning of the end.
So what are the implications for users of companies like Uber, particularly when it comes to the kind of prices they might pay for services?
These platforms operate on and are competitive because they offer lower prices to other kind of more local companies. So I don't see that being a potential implication. And they have such a large monopoly on the market as well that, I don't see too many implications for users, but I do think this is a big win-win for Uber and for its drivers.
And where do you see the future of labour relations headed in the next few years?
Well, I think, as I was saying earlier, that this is a real step in the right direction because it has brought this idea of flexible work in the gig economy up to the standards of the 21st century. So I do think that, we are going to be seeing some changes, potentially policy changes through Parliament, but I think mainly there'll be quite a lot of litigation kind of trying to bring the other platforms up to the same standard. So hopefully we're going to see lots of flexibility, but also with the security associated with those employment protections as well.